Happy to be back in the Studio 10 kitchen alongside Lucy from Greer's, and I see a lot of healthy ingredients today, Lucy.
Yes, this is healthy. We are working on one of those sheet pan dinners. Do you ever do those?
Yes.
It's so nice. You can just cook everything on one pan. You don't have to get a bunch of stuff dirty, and this one is super healthy. So we are going to do a lemon chicken with a tahini sauce. So right now I have most of our veggies cut up, and I'm also just cutting up some sweet potatoes. I just leave the skin on my sweet potatoes, but you can certainly take it off. So I have in this bowl a half of a head of broccoli and a half of a head of cauliflower. I'm using a small sweet potato, and I have also a small red onion and a red bell pepper.
This is such a great idea, y'all, because a lot of people want two things. They want something that is healthy, but they also want something that is quick and easy to make, and this checks both of those boxes.
Yes, absolutely. And you can do whatever protein you want. I'm going to do chicken today, and like I said, we're going to make a sauce. And the good thing about this is it's all going to cook in the oven, so you don't have to really be watching on top of the stove, and it's really good. So I just did about a quarter of a cup of olive oil, and then I have some spices in here. I have some smoked paprika, some garlic powder, salt, pepper, and oregano. So we're going to cook this in stages because the veggies are going to take a tad bit longer to roast than our chicken. So what I'm going to do is just put this in the oven at 375 for 10 minutes. So it just needs an extra 10 minutes. And I'm just gonna spread it out first and then let it cook, and then we'll make room on the pan for our chicken. But this would be great with shrimp or pork or anything, fish. So this is going to go in for 10 minutes, and then we'll get our breast of chicken seasoned up, and we'll talk about our sauce.
All right, sounds great. I love vegetables when they're just in the oven this way too. I kind of feel like growing up, maybe it wasn't as popular or something. We didn't do it as often, but it is such a great way to cook vegetables.
It really is, and I'm with you. We didn't really grow up eating them like that, and but this is typically how I cook all my vegetables because it's so easy. And Spiro likes them a little less done. I like them really done. So you can do them however you want. So and if you wanted to omit anything, of course I have a little bit of sweet potato in here, but you could omit that for no carb, and it's just a good alternative.
All right, check out the colors. That looks great. We're going to continue this process. Healthy, easy. You don't want to miss it with Greer's. We'll be back in just a bit. Welcome back. We are making a one-pan dinner today. Such an easy, great thing to do. Feeds the whole family. Where are we at in the process, Lucy?
Yes, we just roasted for 10 minutes our vegetable medley. We have cauliflower, broccoli, sweet potato, red onion, and red bell pepper. Of course, you can use whatever combination you like. And we just seasoned it up with some smoked paprika and some garlic powder, salt and pepper, and a little bit of oregano and some olive oil. And I just wanted these veggies to get a head start before our chicken. So I had them spread out, and now I just kind of scooted them over to make room for our chicken. You can use whatever protein you like and however much chicken you like. I just had a pack of these Springer Farms chicken breasts that I really like. This brand, no antibiotics and no hormones. It's just really good quality chicken that we sell. So I just grabbed that. You can do 4 easily, but I just have 2 today. And now we are just going to season them up. You can season them up with whatever you like. I'm just going to use those same spices that we did on the veggies. So I'm just going to do some salt and pepper, that smoked paprika again, garlic powder.
Well, that's kind of easy too, to use the same mix for both.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I feel like, especially when you're making supper, it's hard enough to think about what to make for supper. And then, sometimes we just kind of try to complicate it. It's like, oh, I'm going to do these spices on the chicken, so I got to do something completely different on the veggies. But, of course, the veggies are going to taste different than the chicken, even if you use the same spices. So kind of, a time saver there. So the fun thing about this chicken, though, I mean, everybody does baked chicken all the time. But what we're going to do after we pop this back in the oven is later on we're going to top it with some of our sauce that we're going to make.
Yeah.
And we're going to bake that sauce on. So that was Spiro's idea, because I made it and he said, oh, you should put some of that sauce on the chicken and let it run in the oven for a few minutes. I was like, now you're talking, now you're talking.
Well, is this kind of a Mediterranean type sauce?
It is.
Makes sense that it would come from Spiro.
Yes,
then.
so maybe he was just feeling inspired by the meal and contributed a great suggestion. So at this point, in a minute, we'll pop this back in the oven and it'll go 20 minutes. Then we're going to top it with this sauce. Can I show you how to make the sauce?
Sure.
Okay, so we started out with some Greek yogurt, and a tip, you know, a lot of people don't like plain Greek yogurt, or you could use just plain yogurt, doesn't have to be Greek, but a tip is just to buy the little container. You don't have to buy a big old thing of it, especially for a recipe. So it's about 3/4 of a cup, and I'm going to add a tablespoon of tahini, which is sesame paste. Most people are just familiar with this in hummus, so it's one of the ingredients in hummus. And then I'm going to use some of those same spices, a little bit of salt, some smoked paprika and garlic powder. And then I'm going to do the zest and juice of a lemon, and we're going to top our chicken with this later, and then we'll have some on the side to dip our veggies and our chicken in. So
yeah, that's going to be great to add that little citrus element to it, just a little bit of that flavor there to mix with all of those spices that we got going on. So this looks like such a great recipe. Cannot wait to try this at home. You can try it at home. We will have all the details online. So we'll be back in just a bit once we have these roasted a little more. Thanks a lot, Lucy.
Thank you.
We are finishing things up in the kitchen with Lucy Greer today. Guys, this is such a great recipe. Not all the recipes we have on the show. Sometimes we'll have a gourmet chef come in and do something really extravagant or something, but this is something you can do for yourself.
Absolutely. I love to share things every week that people can actually do. And this is something, a perfect weeknight meal, and it's really good for you, and it's beautiful. And what we've done is we've made a sheet pan dinner, so we've done everything on one pan. We got started with our roasted vegetables. You can use whatever medley you like, but you can see all the ones we have here. We just seasoned it up with some salt and pepper and olive oil, some garlic powder, and some smoked paprika and some oregano. We let that go for 10 minutes, and then we scooted them over and we added our chicken breast, and we seasoned that up with some olive oil and the same seasonings, and then we mixed up our sauce here. And what I'm going to do is brush on some of our sauce, and this was our Greek yogurt and our lemon zest and juice and some tahini, which is sesame seed paste, and we did a little bit of the garlic powder and some of that smoked paprika. And after we brush this on, we're just going to put it back in for just 10 more minutes, let that chicken finish cooking, and this is going to be ready for the dinner table.
This is awesome, y'all. What a great recipe. The whole family can enjoy it. It is healthy, it is quick, it is colorful. You eat with your eyes first. I tell you what, can I grab one of these?
Yes, go ahead. Yes, try the sauce.
Over
and
here.
Joe and I were talking, you know, some people like their vegetables a little less done. We like ours more done, so, you know, if you were happy with the doneness of these vegetables, then you could just put those onto a plate, keep them warm, and cook those chicken breasts, because the chicken breasts total are going to take about 30 minutes to cook all the way through, depending on the size of them. So you can just use the leftover sauce to serve on the side and dip everything in it.
Guys, you can get all the ingredients for this recipe at your local Greer's. Don't miss this opportunity for a one-pan dinner for the entire family. Lucy, that was so good. I love the lemon accent in the sauce too. You can really taste it. This is so great, y'all. We'll be back with another recipe from Greer's next Wednesday.